So Alice in Chains are possibly going to get sued, all right, because of their name. All right, we're going to watch the video then. They're about to get sued, literally. They're going to get, okay.
Alice in Chains have easily become one of the most recognizable band names on the planet, and for good reason. But if one group gets their way, they will be changing that name, at least temporarily, and it is a request that is raising the eyebrows of millions of their fans around the world. Alice in Chains are getting pressed by PETA to change their name to
PETA? That's the animal company, right?
Betty in Chains. And it's all because of a situation that PETA says is running out of time. And the question is simple. What does Alice in Chains changing their band name have to do with the fate of an animal? PETA sent a letter straight to the members of Alice in Chains asking if they would go by Betty in Chains on social media for a month. Not a legal name change, not reprinting the merch, just a temporary switch online to blast out,
bro, fuck PETA. Would never do that.
One message: free Betty the elephant. In the letter, PETA even calls it a wonderfully strange request and pitches it as the band lending a version of their iconic name so Betty's story hits millions of rock fans instead of just hardcore animal rights people. The idea is fans see Betty in Chains, they click in, and then they learn what's been happening to this elephant. So who is Betty? According to PETA, Betty is a 56-year-old Asian elephant.
What's that elephant with the ears that flies? What is that elephant called?
Who was taken from Thailand as a baby and has spent decades in U.S. circuses. Most recently with the Carden Circus. They say she's forced to perform and give rides in roughly 300 shows a year, even though she's elderly, disabled, and
Dumbo, yeah, this is Dumbo.
Worn down. An elephant expert who examined Betty this year warned that she's at risk of catastrophic and likely fatal collapse if she isn't retired to a proper sanctuary soon. His report describes her shuffling on stiff front legs with a weakened, almost half-paralyzed trunk that often drags around on the ground. PETA has been branding her as the world's most depressed elephant and backing that up with footage and photos. Betty standing still with eyes closed, trunk down, nails cracked, carrying people on her back when she can barely walk right. They've been protesting Carden Circus stops around the country with a 20-foot inflatable crying elephant and free Betty.
Okay, so the animal has health issues and the organization's like, well, the show must go on.
Pushing people to boycott the shows and flood regulators with complaints. Now, that's PETA's side of the story. Carden Circus, on its site and in social media, says they're committed to ethical treatment of their animals, talking about respect, trust, and proper care. In at least one city, local animal welfare inspectors said the circus on site met expected standards with the right records and licenses. So you've got animal welfare activists and a specialist vet on one side, and the circus plus local inspectors saying we're compliant. So far, though, the band themselves are staying quiet. NME and other outlets say they've reached out to Alice in Chains for comment, and we're told no comment, and there's been no public...
Okay, I'm confused though. Why Alice in Chains? Why? What do they have to be involved with?
response from the band or their reps. Right now, this is a one-way ask from PETA and not an agreed-upon collaboration. Now, this isn't just a one-off...
I feel like what's going to happen is they're not going to respond, and then PETA's going to be like, well, you don't care about elephants? You don't care about animals' lives? You want animals to die, you piece of shit? Look, that's what they're going to do. They're going to guilt trip him.
Just a few weeks ago, they reached out to Led Zeppelin legend Robert Plant, asking him to temporarily go by Robert Plant Wool for Plant Wool Month, a campaign pushing plant-based animal-free alternatives to traditional wool and cashmere. Obviously, some sort of a pun. I think a lot of people are going to look at this and wonder if this is the best way that you can help this elephant, if it is indeed being mistreated as they allege. Is changing your Instagram profile. I mean, if I'm an elephant and I feel like I'm suffering or I'm not in a good place, and the people that I want to help me are calling up a rock band that is completely uninvolved and asking them to change their Instagram.
Yeah, so the bands are just uninvolved. This makes no sense.
Handle.
The fuck is this?
I'm not going to be
situation from Hasman Hotel. Bang.
And of course, it's good to get this elephant story out there. You want animals to be treated well. And I also think you put these bands in sort of a tough spot if they understandably and reasonably wouldn't want to change their band name for various reasons. I think clearly the overwhelming majority of fans are going to respond negatively to that. They're not going to know what it's about, what's going on. It could really be taken the wrong way by rock fans who really care about the legacies of their favorite bands. I don't know. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. We'll let you know if they say anything. Be sure to...
Okay, my thoughts is like, what the do the bands have to do? And I'll comment on the animal thing if there's like official, like not like, I guess like autopsy, you want to call it that, report of like, was there abuse done on the animal, or is it just like PETA being PETA? You know, I'm not just gonna instantly like, oh, you know, I want to see like, let's see some official reports. Let's see like some actual evidence of abuse, right? One way ass at the statement. Yeah.